Dreadful business, this Dr. Heidegger getting his head lopped off.
The world's full of maniacs. Ever crossed your mind that you never know who you're standing next to in the street?
Funny you should say that. Today, I stood next to probably the worst madman of the decade.
Who?
Dr. Frederick Brandt. Remember him?
Yes, I do. But where did you see him? Not in the street, surely?
Well, of course not. I had to call at the asylum today to discuss a new plumbing installation. I passed him in the exercise yard.
Name rings a bell, but I can't place it.
Well, he's a doctor who caused an absolute furore in the medical world about 5 years ago with some fantastic and devilish notion he had about transplanting people's brains. Putting them from one person into another. And he claimed that anyone undergoing such surgery could survive. Absolute claptrap.
I seem to recall that another fellow had the same idea at the same time. The foreigner. Oh dear. What was his name now?
Frankenstein. Baron Frankenstein. Lived in Bohemia.
That's the one. They were both run out of the medical profession, weren't they?
That's right. And Frankenstein was run out of his country as well. The church in particular pilloried him. The devil's disciples, the pair of them. Of course, it was the work that Brandt was engaged on that sent him mad, you know. Well, it must have been.
Excuse me. I didn't know that you were doctors.
Doctors? We're not doctors.
I beg your pardon. I thought you knew what you were talking about.
You're damn rude, sir.
I'm afraid that stupidity always brings out the worst in me.
Stupidity?
Yes, stupidity.
Hello and welcome to Still Watching the Skies for December 2025. I'm Robert Reinecke.
I'm Natal Morel.
I'm Cody Lang.
Every month we explore the lesser discussed science fiction movies of the past. Some famous, some obscure, some good, some bad, all of which we believe will create interesting conversations. That brings us to this month's film, Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed from 1969. I picked up this film, so I will give our listeners a short synopsis and some key personnel from the cast and crew, and then we'll kick off our conversation. Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed is a Hammer Films production. In it, Baron Victor Frankenstein is living under an alias while continuing his illegal experiments. After a burglar accidentally discovers his hidden laboratory, Frankenstein relocates and takes a room at a boarding house run by Anna Spengler. Anna's fiance, Carl Host, works at a local asylum where Frankenstein's former colleague, Dr. Frederick Brandt, has been committed after a mental collapse. Desperate to obtain Brandt's secret scientific formula, Frankenstein blackmails Carl, who has been stealing narcotics, specifically cocaine, to pay for the treatment of Anna's sick mother. And Anna has been helping him, and, Carl and Anna are blackmailed by Frankenstein into helping him kidnap Dr. Brandt. But things don't go exactly to plan. The kidnapping does not go off without a hitch. During the kidnapping, the insane Brandt suffers a heart attack. A police inspector is sniffing around. There's a broken water main that proves to be key. And, Brandt's wife is still hanging around looking for her husband. After Brandt suffers a heart attack, Frankenstein escalates his plan by murdering the asylum director, Professor Richter, and transplanting Brandt's brain into Richter's body. But the revived Brandt, horrified by what has been done to him, seeks out his wife and sets the stage for a fiery climax. Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed stars Peter Cushing as Baron Victor Frankenstein, Freddie Jones as, Dr. Frederick Brandt in Professor Richter's body. The lovely Veronica Carlson is Anna Spengler. Simon Ward is Carl Hurst. Thorley Walters is Inspector Frisch. You might remember Thorley Walters from The Earth Dies Screaming. And Maxine Aldley is Ella Brandt, Dr. Brandt's wife. Terrence Fisher directed the film, of course. It was produced by Anthony Nelson Keys. The screenplay is by uh, Burt Batt. The story is by Anthony Nelson Keys and Burt Batt. Um, Cinematography is by Arthur Grant. Editing is by Gordon Hales, and music is by James Bernard. So I think that's the key uh, information here. So why don't you lead off, Nat?
Sure. Yeah. I think this is the third of the Hammer Frankensteins we've done on the podcast, or have we done
Four.
four? Okay.
And four. If we've done
Curse,
Frankenstein, Revenge of
the Frankenstein.
Frankenstein, Frankenstein Created Woman, and then this one.
Okay. I did we recently do Frankenstein Creative Woman? I've forgotten that one.
Last year, December
Okay.
2024.
Okay. Generally, these all run together in December, where I'm scrambling to catch up with the Secret Santas. But no, I this actually may be my favorite of the four. It is with some flaws that we can get into, or at least what I think are flaws. But overall, I really like the direction that this installment of the series takes, and as you were saying earlier, having it as kind of a climax to the Hammer Frankenstein series. I think they are pretty well set in understanding what the draw is, where the strengths are, and a lot of that rests on Peter Cushing. And I think he does not fail at all in this. He is at his egomaniacal, cocksure best in this movie. He is eminently watchable. Just that brow, those eyes, and that hawk nose are in full force in this film.
Hmm.
They have classic Hammer boobies flying everywhere, which is always terrific. And there's not as much gore as I would expect, but I think they still do a really good job with a lot of the makeup, especially on Brandt's head, and a pretty epic end to it that is both satisfying and abrupt. So,
So it's a hammer end.
yeah. But I think the thing, and we can where I can go into more detail, but the thing I really like is that they this is one where I mean the monster almost doesn't even exist. It's all focused on Victor Frankenstein. And again, I said Peter Cushing really is the strength of this, but I feel this probably gets to the thematic heart of the book, maybe more than a lot of adaptations, even though they do follow Victor Frankenstein around. A lot of
Mhm.
times the main draw is the monster, and I don't feel that that's really the case here, but it is enough that Peter Cushing can just sustain it. That again, he is more than a draw for this, and I like that they really kind of do embrace that and get into a lot of the, I guess, lurid details of of just how he not even at this point wants to challenge God, but just wants to get his way in all things and wants to more or less just prove how great he is. And nothing can stand in his work because it's his work and not because it's serving any noble purpose. I like kind of that aspect of the character where it really is pretty raw egomania, and I think it's a pretty ballsy move, especially for Hammer, where it is known for really going for the sensational, that it is something where they go with a little bit more, maybe not so much spectacle, um, but there is a little bit more subtlety and character in this than I would think, and I really like it for that.
Okay. How about you, Cody?
So I thought it was pretty gory. Maybe I just don't remember the other ones. The one I like from Hammer I remember the most was Brides of Dracula. I think I don't find that one too gory. But I don't remember the ones we watched for the show. So how many did we watch before this one?
We've watched three.
Wow. Okay.
Curse of,
I remember the
Hand
first one.
Job, and Creative Woman.
Yeah, I remember the first one with Christopher Lee as the monster.
Mhm.
Um, I thought it was pretty gory. Like there's like the head, the head cutting. It's
Yeah,
pretty good for the 60s. Like yeah,
yeah.
they do cut away, but like they start to, he starts to saw into the guy's skull and it cuts away, but it's and then when the guy's walking around like with the brain in the new body, it looks disgusting. Like that wound looks disgusting. So
I think that one to me at least is more, I don't want to say realistic, but that seems more going for something that's centered in reality than say like the Christopher Lee version
I
of the
agree. Yeah,
monster.
and it's gross.
Yeah,
I
well,
agree.
I would say, I feel that the Foley crew, the sound effects crew, earned their pay for this one. When they're cutting the head, it certainly sounds like they're cutting through bone.
I thought you were going to say
Yeah.
when he drops the bucket into the pit of water
That one's good too. That's a deep
Yeah,
fall.
like
and the
there's
body.
like yeah, like it might be I think it probably is more realistic. I just don't remember the first one very well. I just remember thinking that Christopher Lee's Frankenstein was kind of a unique look on it
Hmm.
now only compared to um the 30s one, right? Which
Hmm.
is sort of
Yeah.
like more of an iconic look. And maybe the Christopher Lee one is more like the character in the novel. I'm not sure. But this I thought was pretty gory. I was like, but having said that, there isn't a lot of like gory scenes. It's more just those a few scenes that are like I was kind of like, whoa, this is pretty rough for a 60s film.
Yeah. I mean, I
Like
feel like
like there wouldn't be
that would have
anything from
got some
Hollywood
blood.
at this time that would even be close to being that gory. Like I can't think of any film. Like there wasn't even really many horror films in Hollywood at this time. So the next
I'd
best
say
thing would
Herschel
be
Gordon Lewis was doing stuff at this time. Like that's
I
not
have
Hollywood,
I
but
have no idea who that is. So you're gonna have to explain.
so like Feast of Blood, lots of uh,
Hmm.
like Mondo sort of style films.
What,
Um,
2000 Maniacs?
mhm.
Yeah, I have no idea what those are.
Well,
Are they Hollywood or are they just some
They're not
random
Hollywood.
they're not
American
Hollywood,
film?
but
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Nor is
Okay,
Night of the
so
Living Dead Hollywood.
yes, very true. Maybe some movies in the world at this
Yeah.
time would have been gory, but I'm just saying like, films that would have been widely seen by people. I don't know any of them that would be this gory, aside from the ones that Nat just mentioned. Um, but the film is not really like there aren't too many gory scenes. I think it's all about how evil Frankenstein is, like Dr. Frankenstein. And so there's one scene I don't like.
I
I,
think I
I,
think I know
I
what it
think I know what
is,
that one is too.
and
yeah.
I am going to
And I
agree with
just
you.
feel like, and so before I say it, even though I think I know we're all saying the same thing, I just feel like it's very out of character,
Yep,
and I feel like it's kind of dumb,
yep,
Yep.
and it's the rape scene.
yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Um,
That I think also is studio insistence.
That was studio insistence to sex it up.
Yeah, but it doesn't really work. Like the film was already kind of sexing it up just by just the actress's like, physical appearance and just the way she was dressing. Like I just feel like it comes, and I've never thought this about any Hammer films, like or the ones I've seen anyway. Like I've never seen like I haven't seen all the Hammer films, obviously, so I've only seen like the really well-known ones. And
Hmm.
yeah, like the actresses are a bit more like
Was me?
more sexy than like Hollywood films. But like this one, I've just that like one scene, I was like, I don't really think that's that works, and it's a little distracting because
Hmm.
like I don't see him as like a sexual character.
I don't either.
Well,
Like
I mean,
if
maybe in the
anything,
first
he's
one
like
with the maid,
asexual.
he's having an affair
Yeah,
in the first one. But yeah, since then, it's not like he's going after women right and left.
No, he's not like Dracula or something. Like for me, like I sort of see the Peter Cushing or not Dracula, the Peter Cushing Frankenstein as like kind of like Herbert West from Reanimator. Like he's got a
Yeah.
one-track mind.
Yeah.
He just cares about science, although he's very like unself-aware.
Yes.
Like I don't feel like he realizes like, you're not like a super genius. You just might be like kind of messed up in the head. Yeah,
Yeah, he definitely has a God complex.
no,
Mhm.
for sure, yeah. And so like yeah, like other than that part, I do like the movie. Like I know you mentioned, Robert, that this is kind of either one of your favorites or your favorite. I can't remember if you said it's your favorite, but I can see why you would like this one, kind of out of like the f five, right? Like there's five or four of him
There's
during this
five
period.
total from Terrence Fisher. There's actually
For
seven
okay. All right,
from
okay.
Henry, but yeah.
Yeah, so this one, like, am I wrong to say that this one's your favorite, or am I just
No,
misremembering,
you would
or
not be wrong on that.
okay.
I mean, I feel like, I feel like it's the most modern, it's the nastiest, and I like that it's nasty.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like it because it's actually far from like the original story, and I feel like this is
Hmm.
a good like it's kind of hard to say because aside from the rape scene, like I do feel like it sort of justifies its story. It's obviously continuing a franchise that was popular.
It justifies
Um,
the title.
yeah, but the story is like it doesn't feel like a waste of time, whereas like
Mhm.
I'm sure other Frankenstein sequels would be, seen as like, oh, they're just trying to milk this. Like this is a good standalone story.
Hmm.
Um, I like that it's not about, creating a new monster. It's just about like doing one specific technique, and it's more about him manipulating people
Mhm.
Yeah.
to get what he wants. And
Yeah.
so that's why I think it's cool.
Like it's more a mad scientist movie than an actual monster movie. Like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, arguably there is no monster in this movie unless you count Frankenstein as the monster.
yes.
Yeah, like I would like
Frankenstein's
bear
monster is not the monster.
yeah, because like there's no monster, but like the guy that he's messing about like with the brain, like yeah, he's horrific and he kind of is disgusting to look at, but yeah, he's not like a normal monster. Yeah, you're right.
He's probably, the most aware and emotionally complex character in the film.
Hmm.
Well, he's also the one
Um,
who like retains more or less like every remnant of his past life too.
oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
Whereas,
he's not like he's not like, like just kind of like a zombie, like a walking
yeah,
thing.
No,
He's as articulate as he would have been before. Um, and I do think the ending is awesome. I think it's a good ending. I
I
like that it's
agree.
abrupt. I like that it's, these two scientists, like the one guy just takes him down and just like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you and I'm gonna light you on fire and kill you. Like it's a really good ending.
drags
Um,
him into a fiery hell.
Hmm.
yeah, like it's a really good way to do it without being over dramatic. Like it's very simple, it's very effective. And this is kind of why I think, yeah, like these are like this is definitely one of the better Hammer films I've seen. Like I'll put it in like the top four or five. Um, but I haven't seen like as probably as many as you guys, so maybe there's some I'm missing, but yeah, it's good. It's just I wish I remembered the other ones we did. Like I can't remember like how long ago did we review those? Like was it
No,
5 years ago or more?
I'd
I mean,
say we did Revenge of Frankenstein, I'd say within the last 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
we did Curse of and Revenge both in the same show because Revenge picks up right where Curse ends,
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
and we did Frankenstein Created Woman last year.
So have we done all five?
No, we have not.
Hmm.
And we haven't. We skipped Evil of Frankenstein because Terrence Fisher didn't direct it, and it, I don't think it's that great. But it's an odd blend of the Hammer and Universal formula. So,
Hmm. Interesting.
and we don't do. We haven't done horror of Frankenstein, which would come out after this as kind of a reboot of Frankenstein for the younger crowd with Ralph Bates as the Frankenstein, as Baron Frankenstein. And then Terrence Fisher would come back in, I think, 74 and finish up his career with Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell, where you had Peter Cushing as Frankenstein again, and David Prowse was the monster in that one. So you had Cushing and Prowse
Hmm.
before Star Wars.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
after Clockwork Orange.
After Clockwork Orange, yes.
So
So
yeah, this is the proper ending, I guess. Yeah.
yeah, I think this is the proper ending. I'm not I'm not crazy about Monster from Hell, I'll tell you that, but it's not bad per se. It's just kind of, a little tired.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. This one is the proper climax, and I feel that, I will say I picked this for a reason because I think it's my third favorite Hammer. I think if we have a list of that, I think that's where it ranks, or what my at least my third favorite Terrence Fisher movie, behind Horror of Dracula and Brides of Dracula. I think then you get Revenge of Frankenstein
Yeah,
with
so that's funny you say Brides because Brides is my favorite. I don't know why. I just like I it's the only one I own on Blu-ray.
Mhm.
I've seen it
It's a
many
beautiful looking
times.
film.
I don't know why it's my favorite though. I just like because it's not really about Dracula. It's just about like a random vampire. Yeah.
No, but it's Peter Cushing as Van Helsing, kind of swashbuckling around fighting a random vampire.
Yeah, you're right. It's just I'm not sure why I like it that much, but it's always been my favorite. It's funny.
Well, maybe we'll have to do it one Halloween so we can talk about it.
Yeah.
No, I picked up this is because, as I said, it's one of my favorites, and I feel like it's one of the meatier Frankenstein's. I really feel that while Curse and Revenge are very good, they're not as good as the original 1931 Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein. But I feel like you take all the other sequels after that. I'll take Frankenstein Created Woman and Must Be Destroyed over pretty much every other Frankenstein film because I feel like that's where you know you got four good Frankenstein films out of Hammer at least, and I feel that's a pretty good thing and pretty significant thing. Um, you know, Peter Cushing is being a rat bastard in this film, and I'm there for it. Um, and as I said, he earns the title, which is saying something because "Must Be Destroyed" is a pretty extreme title, and I do feel that Brant and the scene where he comes to visit his wife and she doesn't really can't reconcile this guy in front of her may talk like her husband, but that can't be her husband, and I feel that's kind of heartbreaking. And another little key that I don't think you get in the other Hammer films. Um, so I feel like that. I feel that Freddie Jones as Brant, the creation, is very good in this film, and adds dimension, makes a good contrast for the monomaniacal Frankenstein himself, and I feel like it's not the book, but it kind of replicates the book where you have the complicated uh, relationship between the monster and his creator, and I feel that that parts of it all worked, and I love the ending. I think the ending is great,
Mhm.
and I think it's nasty too. I mean, it opens with a guy getting decapitated basically with a big splurt of blood.
The beginning is awesome. It's
It's,
like
it's
it's
like a
so
giallo,
crazy.
but it is.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
It's also like the editing on it just seems really, really quick in that too, especially with the investigation where I forget who plays the lead investigator, but like they do some bits of humor with that where with like his snuff box and
Yeah.
there's like one thing where he's just about to sneeze and then they immediately cut to like something else before he actually gets a chance to sneeze. But like they really it feels like they trim that first part pretty pretty handily, and I think they keep a pretty good pace throughout the
Yeah.
entire movie. I do feel some of the scenes with Brant and his wife drag some, but for the most part, like this is some smooth running, and they're not afraid to chop.
Yeah. From what I understand, the scenes with Starley Walters as the inspector were added kind of last
Yep.
minute, kind of pad the running time because
Yeah.
it was too short. And I can believe that because you could really not have to worry about them. They don't
Yeah.
add. There's no climax. The inspector subplot leads nowhere.
Like
He
the
can
cops show up for
he
something, but
can
like you don't really need an explanation for when they do.
yeah, and the rape scene was the other scene that was added last minute. I know Cushing didn't like it. Terrence Fisher didn't like it. Veronica Carlson didn't like it, but that was kind of insisted by the studio, so they shot it. And I will say, I think they're pretty tasteful with it overall. Not that there's much you could say. There hardly are anything that I really call a tasteful rape scene, but I feel like at least I feel it's not really sexy. I feel like it's about
Yeah.
power dynamics and him asserting his power over her more than it is about trying to be sexy. So it at least has that going for that.
That one also feels weird too, where it comes in the story, and I forget exactly the bits or sequence that precedes it, but it is awkwardly placed because I think it's around where they're plotting to attack him with like the syringe, or maybe a little bit before that. But
Yeah,
it's like the tone is just really inconsistent with the scene that precedes it, and I think she just says I think that's when she says she's going to go to bed or something like that, and then there's no reason for Peter Cushing really to be in that room, much less any reason for him to just all of a sudden decide he wants to rape her. Yeah, but it's
yeah,
just yeah, it totally just doesn't work with like anything else in it. It does feel
and it seems like there's no repercussions of it after that. Anyhow,
yeah. And I agree too, like it just does not seem at all in character with Frankenstein or Peter Cushing for that matter. Like his one drive that we see in all of these films is just his work and his nothing stopping him from that. I can see someone make an argument that it's well, he's just an egomaniac and everything has to be his way, but I feel that the character is more nuanced than something that like he just wants to get his way all the time. It's just he wants to get his way when it comes to, or he's unstoppable when it comes to his work. And I agree with too how that rape scene is shot, that it is pretty nasty. And even though I don't like nobody really wanted to do it, I think like the ripping of the bodice is a pretty effective scene. And there's your Foley artist again with
yeah.
with it being ripped. Like it is pretty nasty and brutal and thankfully short. But yeah.
Well, they shot it. They didn't like it. But they did an effective job with it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Um,
like the only way it kind of works in the story, I think it feels really shoehorned in, but is that he's really terrorizing this couple, and he's blackmailing them. Like first he's blackmailing them because they're using the drugs. So the guy's
yeah,
using the drugs to like pay for something with his mother-in-law. I can't remember, like either pay for her hospital bills or something.
Hmm.
And the guy works at the hospital, sells the cocaine and stuff on the black market, makes some more money. And then the guy kills someone by accident, or I guess like in a panic. And then there's
yeah.
another further thing that Frankenstein
It getting deeper and deeper.
has on him.
Hmm.
And then he basically makes them move out all of their bed and breakfast customers so that he can make a lab. So to me, it's kind of like it's not like it's not fully like this, but it's kind of like a home invasion thriller where a guy moves in and just basically terrorizes you.
It's like Pacific
Yeah.
Heights.
Um, and I feel like that's where the rape scene, it still feels shoehorned in, but it kind of works from that angle. It just doesn't make sense with the character at large, like who's just seems to be whose primary goal is like being like like trying to reach new
Hmm.
scientific discoveries by
Hmm.
experimenting with dead bodies and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Um,
I don't disagree, though. I feel like, you have to do something in the fourth Frankenstein movie to make him even worse than he is
I
already.
yeah, but it
There
just
has to be some escalation.
but the thing I like about it though is just this idea of like Victor Frankenstein is criticized in like all of these movies for playing God. And like I feel that there is a little bit more of a balance in terms of like, hey, these are serious scientific discoveries. Well, as serious as you can get in this kind of film, but essentially, like, there is some merit to his work. Like, we don't condone the way that he got to him, but
I mean,
like,
this is transplant. This
but
is
but
20th century transplants are a thing.
But it's also, it's
Great
always
film.
the idea of like scientific discovery versus like ethics, right? And
Uh,
that's always kind of like the theme that is consistent through like all iterations of the Frankenstein story. And what I like about this is that that is sort of the main tool that Victor Frankenstein is using in this is like, societal conventions, and like how people treat certain things, whether they're crimes or not. And so like with the drugs, it's yeah, we all look down upon drugs. It is generally self-harm as opposed to like harm on
mhm.
others, and the guy's doing it for a noble cause. And then uh and oh, I forget there's like a couple other ones too, just with it. But I think like the idea of Victor Frankenstein, like well, exploiting an accidental death sort of being another one where like some of these things, there is some gray area to like the situations in which these things that break societal conventions occur, but people generally aren't going to respect those nuances or respect those circumstances, or at least the people who committed them expect people not to respect those nuances, and that really is kind of what Victor Frankenstein is manipulating throughout here. So it's kind of the weapon that's consistently used against him in all these movies is what he's using as his main weapon in this
He's
one.
using society against the young people.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that with Brant too, or Brent or whatever the hell his name is, like that he's a scientist as well, and he's having this experiment like done on him. Not that he necessarily wanted to, but like the first thing he does when he regains consciousness is not like sit there in awe of what has actually been accomplished, but he appeals more to like his humanity and immediately like wants to go find his wife and like see how like embraces humanity as opposed to his sense of scientific discovery.
Mhm. Or pride.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, as far as we know, I mean, the irony is that some of his discoveries paved the way for this experiment on himself.
Hmm. And I don't think they dwell on some of those things like that much, but I have a little bit of respect for like Terrence Fisher and some of the lineage of some of these Hammer films that like I think that they're more aware of it than it just being an accident, even if it's not like the basis or for the entire film or heavily explored. At the end of the day, it's we're making a Hammer horror film, but we
Yeah.
can we can have some cool themes in here too, as long as we get boobs and fire.
I believe, as I recall, Terrence Fisher actually cast Freddie Jones as Dr. Brandt, and he was pretty proud of that suggestion. And I think it paid off. And, I think Terrence Fisher was aware of the themes. I think Terrence Fisher generally understood the themes of his movies and he would emphasize them. Um, you, I mean, he would go all out for the gore and stuff, or the gore for the period. I mean, these are not like Cronenberg films, but these are uh, gory for the period, and he was keeping up with the times. And I think it works here. And as I said, I feel like that he saw the giallos and said, "Well, I can do that too," and
Hmm.
he did that. I know we were still kind of early in the giallos, but
Well, he does show
and they
restraint
get
in
much
this
gorier,
too.
but I feel like,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
was
I
just gonna
mean,
say I think he does show some restraint though. We're getting a delay.
go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say that when it comes to like Anna's death or even her stabbing of Brant, there isn't that much blood. Like they don't play that part up in terms of gore as much as they could. Like they do get the decapitation out of the way, but like even after that, I don't think that there's that much blood with the guy wandering around town with the blood, or even when they discover I think like the real Brant's body. Um, like
Hmm.
I think there is more restraint than I would expect to see from like a Hammer film, especially at this point in Hammer's period.
Yeah, I think that it is, but I feel it's a real movie.
Oh yeah.
Use that. I mean, it certainly uses that. I mean, Terrence Fisher is interested in the emotional element of that what Dr. Brandt is going through, and he is interested in the ethics of it all, and he also is interested in the sensational elements, but and they all kind of work. So that's why I feel that this one works. For what it's worth, we've seen Freddie Jones in a number of films that we've covered before. Um, he was in Crawl. He probably we can pick him out the best. He's Sulphur Howard in Dune, David Lynch's Dune. He's
Hmm.
in the Black Cauldron. He worked with David Lynch a couple times. He appeared in The Elephant Man. So that was a good choice by Terrence Fisher there. And he's a he has the gravitas to stand up to Cushing, which I feel it makes it a lot better.
I like his yeah, like he also is a little bit more reserved or down to earth.
Hmm.
Um, and again, the stuff with his wife, I feel does go on a bit long, but I
Yeah.
do like having that more emotional counterpoint. But then also at the end, where he's sort of getting his revenge, I think he sells that really, really well too. And that's necessarily over the top and
Yeah.
calling for like over the top performance from both him and Peter Cushing. And yeah, I think there's a good range that he covers in I think basically like the last 45 minutes or so of the
Yeah.
movie.
Hmm. Yeah. He's not really a really about probably the last half hour is when he regains consciousness and
Hmm.
becomes a character. And I think he does most with that last half hour. And
That's also
I should say I really love when you do real fire well. It certainly beats CGI fire.
that looks amazing. And yeah, just to do like a quick recap of the ending for our listener who probably has not seen the movie. Hi, honey, I love you. Um, but basically Brant who Frankenstein's put his brain into a different body is getting revenge on Frankenstein by more or less lighting his house on fire because Frankenstein needs to acquire the plans for the secret formula. And he's devised a sort of cat and mouse game where Frankenstein doesn't necessarily know where the study is that contains the papers. And so he's scrambling to try and find the door. And each time he goes to a door, Brant will throw a candle at that door. And he's already coated the entire place in gasoline. So it starts a massive fire. But the fire does look amazing. Like it is a practical effect, and it's a very convincing practical effect where you have both fire in the background and the foreground and kind of like all the spaces in between where I am
Mhm.
wondering like how are they pulling this off? Because in a lot of the shots it clearly is Peter Cushing. Like there definitely some stunt double work there, but I'm convinced by a lot of the shots with Peter Cushing and maintaining like all the different areas of burn because eventually like he's throwing things left and right, so the entire place is on fire, and they take moments to show you how much of it is on fire.
Yeah. Looks like there's no way out.
Hmm. Except for the front door.
Yes.
The one thing I don't get is when, because Frankenstein gets the formula, right?
Gets a hold of it, yes.
He gets a hold of it and then he puts it in the fire and then shoves it in Brant's face
He
and burns
uses it as a
him.
weapon against Brant.
Yeah. But like, why? I mean, there's everything else in the house is flammable. Like, why use the one thing that you came there to get?
Well, he had it in his hands, so maybe it was only just like the cover page of the formula.
So it's just, yeah, like the
Yeah,
abstract. It's,
yeah, the abstract. I can sacrifice this.
yeah, that's just my co-author.
Yeah. This is just a list of credits of people who helped him out.
It's weird to me because it's like here's the thing that he wants, like he has time to find something else, but he deliberately puts it into the fire, and then it doesn't even seem like it would be that good of a weapon because he just takes it, he puts it in his face, and Brent's like, that for a second, and it doesn't even look like anything's changed. They do a close-up later where you see like the burn marks on his face, which look awesome and convincing, but I don't know, it just it does seem like an ineffective and inappropriate for a number of reasons weapon.
It seems like he could have done better, but the other guy's tossing him like full lamps of oil at him, so I guess, that's whatever you got.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, there is a fireplace, grab a poker or something, but
Hmm. And yeah, I mean the pretty fantastic ending where Carl, and I think it also is legally obligated to have a Carl in every
I
Hammer
think
of
you're right.
Frankenstein movie. Um, but like he
Mhm.
jumps out the front door. I also like that you get to see a lot of Peter Cushing fighting people and somehow oddly overpowering people that he doesn't seem like he should be able to overpower.
No, but he is motivated.
That's true. He's a scrapper. But yeah,
Yeah.
Carl drags Cushing back into the burning building and then boom, credits. Like that's great.
Yes.
Cushing flailing all over um that. But I did want to ask though, like or get a pulse check on I was pretty surprised by the death of Anna.
I was
And
too.
yeah, like
And I mean, I wasn't surprised this time, but I'm still surprised yet you killed off the probably the most likable character in the film.
and not even having Frankenstein do it either. And
Well,
and
he does do it. He grabs her arm and twists it and then stabs her
Yeah,
with that
he
scalpel
like
that she has.
stabs her and she's
I
being
thought no,
yeah.
Brant does that.
No, she does.
No, no, she stabs Grant.
No, he does.
She
Sorry.
stabs
Like
Brant and then he stabs her.
no, he
Yeah,
leaves, but Frankenstein
he
stabbed
leaves
her.
and then
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're right. You're
stabs,
right.
stabs him.
because he's pissed at her, and I can kind of see that. Like it kind of makes sense within this story here. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. It because yeah, it was weird to me too because like Brant chases it like he tries to convince her not to stab him. She's down trying to get the syringe to
Yeah.
attack Frankenstein with. So I guess the rape scene was earlier in that, but yeah. And then
Yeah.
he wakes up, she sees him, she starts freaking out, and then he tries to talk her down and say, I'm not going to harm you. And then when she turns to go away, he chases after her, which is not the thing you want to do if you're trying to convince somebody that you're not going to attack them. Yeah. And then yeah, but like she stabs him the same way that she gets stabbed, but he just like has a little belly wound. I mean, he has a
Yeah,
little
it's
belly
not
to
a
be
great
working with.
it's not a great scene actually. It's kind of just like it's a bit confusing what's happening.
Yeah.
Um
Grant does break into surgery on his way to his wife's though, so probably patched himself up there because he
Mhm.
is a doctor.
Yes.
But yes, it's not the best scene, but Frankenstein gets pissed and he just kind of turns her wrist and just like eliminates her, which of course pisses off Carl. I wonder how Carl knows that where Frankenstein and Dr. Brandt are going, but
Mhm.
yeah. Um, like that's kind of one of the things I like about the film too, is like how just Frankenstein just hates every person. Like you can tell he just hates humanity in this. Like he just detests everyone. It's everyone is just a tool for him to do what he wants to do. And he also thinks of himself as like a great, scientific
Hmm.
genius slash human. Like when the guys are gossiping about him in the hotel or in that pub in the beginning part of the film, turns around and says, you guys are basically cavemen. You're not
Yeah.
sophisticated, and then all this stuff. And then his reasoning for wanting to do the brain transplant is that he wants to go around and basically make sure that the smartest people never die. So you keep transplanting their brains into new bodies, etc.
And I'm sure he counts himself among the smartest people.
Yeah, but I don't even believe him like when he says that. Like, because first of all, that would be an insane thing to do. Um, Pretty much impossible.
But when everyone
Like,
dies, they're at the peak of their scientific
yeah, but
capability.
like yeah, exactly. Like it just would never happen. So like he's just saying it because he wants to have like a cool moral or what he thinks is like a cool justification. But like that would never happen. And he's like we know that deep down he's just doing this experiment because he just wants to do something that's never been done before and then somehow be credited for it and then maybe say to like the science community, look, you guys are not great. I'm better than you or whatever. Like it's always
It's
some
a
kind
way
of
for his
mask for like an
story.
egotistical reason.
No, I agree. It's kind of like, I don't know who Frankenstein is really justifying it to. Maybe himself. I don't even think he believes it.
Like it's kind of funny because he's so obviously just saying it like to kind of win the argument in the moment, but it's not what he truly thinks. He just wants to like satisfy some kind of weird urge that like he's the smartest guy in the room or whatever, and
Hmm. Although I,
yeah.
I feel like his takedown of the other people discussing uh uh I guess Baron Frankenstein. I think we talked about Frankenstein
Hmm.
himself and how he's just some crazy guy. Must have
Hmm.
been bad. I think he asked them, "Oh, are you doctors?" And they say no.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you knew what you're talking about.
Hmm.
Yeah. 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 That was funny.
Yeah, fishing is always fun. We tried to take a look here. I think I had one item I wanted to talk about.
I will say the gal in the asylum is a very good screamer
Yeah.
and extremely loud.
Yeah, one of those things that took one plan. I know I'm gonna talk about the water main scene.
Oh,
'Cause
that was a good scene. Yeah.
I know Scorsese's a fan of it. And I more I watch, the more I like it. Basically, a water main breaks where they have buried the body, and it kind of the arm kind of comes flapping up and down with the water,
Hmm.
waving or signaling, and Anna has to hide it before the city workers show up to fix it. So I thought that's good. I feel I can't think how you would stage it any better than that because I feel it is kind of spooky and unsettling, and it could have been very silly very easily, but it's
It
not.
is, but the physics of it are kind of weird. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really get how it works, but it is like just a weird scene. Yeah,
Have you ever encountered anything like that in your work, Robert?
I can't say that I have.
that's good.
I mean, I've seen uh, ruptured water lines and ruptured gas lines. So, and they did a good job of kind of replicating that. I don't think you necessarily would see a water expert up like that, but it's a good representation. But it's just water under pressure going upwards.
I think Nat's talking about like a body.
I
Oh,
haven't found a body, although I guess he technically found like a archaeological bones in some of our explorations.
Oh,
Oh, that's cool.
So
you have
yeah,
to
you have to
close.
call up the state archaeologists and they take a look at it and they say, yeah, you can keep working or you can't keep working.
Mhm.
Hmm.
That's by the Milwaukee County Medical Center. There's old Potter's field graveyard.
Hmm.
So you got to watch out for that stuff. Apparently,
I also didn't realize that like Potter's Field was just a generic term for like a mass graveyard.
Oh, I
yeah.
didn't know that either.
Usually of the poor. We're
Mhm.
like, yeah, you don't have a big headstone or that, maybe an unmarked grave, but here
Mhm.
you go.
So good to know. This
Yeah.
is just one of the scientific facts that you learn.
They will shut down a construction operation because of it.
Those bastards. Let's see. I also just the trajectory of the Frankenstein movies is just still really interesting to me because I always think of Christopher Lee as being in way more of them
He's in
when
one.
he's just in the first one.
Yeah.
But
But I feel they've come up with some good twists on it.
mhm.
I feel they've done more twists than the Universal series did. Like, I mean, you have the original, which is basically, Curse and Frankenstein's like, oh, I've created a monster.
Mhm. I
Then there's
it's
the Universal, then we'll make a mate for the monster. And then it's like, oh, we're gonna revive the monster. We're gonna revive the monster. We're gonna revive the monster again and again.
yeah, I mean they did do Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, but I do feel that Bride of Frankenstein, if for nothing else, Dr. Pretorius
Yeah.
is a really awesome direction to
Hmm.
take that franchise. And I think that I feel is more of an inspiration on like the later characterizations of Victor Frankenstein than uh was it Dwight Fryer who was not who
No,
was
Colin Clive.
Colin Clive, thank you. Um in that uh and I feel like Peter Cushing is way more channeling Dr. Pretorius than Dr. Frankenstein from the Universal things. But no, I do like a lot of the innovations or directions that they did these sequels. Hammer does sequels well.
Yeah, they surprisingly.
Hmm.
Usually
I think
sequels
it's
fuck up.
because they don't like they do proper sequels. They create like a new story. They don't try to retread old stories for the most part. They try to do a new story. It's sort of character based.
Mm.
Um, and it's kind of like, it's kind of like serialized fiction a bit. Like you're just it's
Well,
like you
I feel
are
they repeat themselves. I think they repeat themselves in the Dracula series quite often, but I will say the Frankenstein ones, they come up with a unique premise for each of them.
yeah, like the only consistent thing is that the character of Frankenstein is like the
Yeah.
doctor's there. But
And
I
it's
think
Peter
that's why
Cushing.
yeah, like I think that's why their sequels are good. Like they are continuing the story, but it's more based on the character and less about the premise, I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because like yeah, like they could do it every single time. They could do it, oh, he makes a new monster each time,
Yeah.
and that would be kind of boring.
And they don't repeat the Christopher Lee makeup either, or the Christopher
Hmm.
Lee monster. They come up with
Yeah.
a new every one. I mean, Cushing is your one through line through the series.
And I also like that. I mean, I would expect him to get better and better the more times he's doing this, but they do tend to get like more and more realistic or more less, decomposy
Yeah.
with each of them too, and more of
I
like a distinct personality.
Yeah. Well, Brent is just the guy in this one.
Yeah, I mean it's just a body swap, really.
Yeah. Although, in Creative Woman, it's a beautiful woman, so he did a good job in that one.
He knows what he's doing. I do have to ask though, Robert, as a godless man of science, when performing this sort of operation, like you would have more than scars just in, the top of the head, right? Like you'd have to have like some scars around the back or spinal cord,
You
connecting
would
some
think so.
nerves.
I wouldn't think one could just like drop a brain in.
Yeah. And I'm assuming like a serum probably wouldn't do that much. Like you need to get in there with the hacksaw and start stitching together.
You would think so. I mean, I don't think. I mean, as far as I know, a spinal cord injury cannot be repaired.
That's
So
that's my understanding as well.
yeah. Maybe there is a formula that you can repair a spinal cord injury with, but
Hmm.
I don't see. They don't go into that, and that's probably wise on their part because the more explanation you offer, I think the more flimsy it's going to seem.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't
I
know if I have.
I don't think they're really concerned about how would you do it. They're concerned about what are the moral implications or the ethical implications or how does it demonstrate just how bad a person Frankenstein is.
Hmm. But still just so compelling and so fun to watch too.
He is like a hissable villain, and I feel like Cushing could play the driven good guy Dr. Van Helsing, and he could do Baron Frankenstein just as well. And they're kind of complete opposites.
Or
Um,
or even Sherlock Holmes.
or Sherlock Holmes. I feel like, his Baron Frankenstein has something in common that he carried over to Star Wars, and he's certainly very good there. Although I feel he's almost amused by Carrie Fisher in that one. And I feel that he's kind of amused by her trying to stand up to him.
Hmm. Yeah, and he is kind of like a Hannibal Lecter sort of style character where he always has like some sort of advanced degree or possesses some sort of knowledge that none of the other characters in the film can have. And he always does have, even if he's playing a good guy, a certain like moral ambiguity to him. Like here, I think he's more or less a sociopath.
Yes.
Um,
Well, I feel like he does do his research on how if you were going to do this kind of medical procedure, this is how one would carry it out.
mhm,
It's not exactly method, but he does do his research, I feel like, and he does try to at least look like he knows what he's doing.
mhm. Yeah, if they made like a Silence of the Lambs or a Manhunter
Yeah.
in this 50s or 60s, that'd be awesome. But I
Cushing
would
would
love
be
to.
up for that role.
I would love to see Cushing in that role, and then Lee could play like the main serial killer, like the Buffalo Bill or Tooth Fairy.
That could be.
Yeah, yeah. But I really like this one, and I feel like this is like the best spotlight for Peter Cushing. And again, like props to it for being a Frankenstein, a true Frankenstein movie and not a Frankenstein monster movie, where the monster, like you said, is pretty much absent. You could make a case for it being the last half hour of the film, but I say it's so different from, any of the Universal Frankenstein movies or even the first like Curse of Frankenstein or first Hammer Frankenstein movie as to, I mean, not even be in that same category.
I mean, you could look at it and say, like that Dr. Frankenstein knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
The brain transplant is successful. The surgery to
exactly.
cure Dr. Brandt's uh, insanity is successful.
Hmm.
We just explore the consequences of it.
Yeah.
Nothing goes wrong, really. It's just like, yeah, here are the implications, and I don't even figure out that Baron Frankenstein even understands why he's getting destroyed at the end.
Hmm. It's like you're not wrong, Frankenstein. You're just an asshole.
And I feel like that thing alone is why it's a very interesting Frankenstein movie.
I agree, and I think this probably is my favorite.
Oh, I can't say it's my favorite, but I like it. I just don't remember the other ones, and I don't know if I like them more or not. So
I think we liked all of them to one extent or another.
Yeah, I never remember like not liking them. I just don't remember the details of the plot, that's
Yeah.
all. But like aside from the first one, but
The first one is the one that's closest to the book. I don't know if we read the book. I read the book or not. I know I read the book.
I read it in school, but that was
Mhm.
many years ago.
I know the Guillermo del Toro film is curiously like the book in some spots and curiously unlike the book in other spots.
It's kind of like the Francis Ford Coppola saying Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah,
Man, I love Coppola's Dracula.
I do too.
Have we reviewed it for the podcast?
I don't think
we have not.
I don't think we
Oh
have.
man.
Well,
That'll be good. Double bill. That
we
one, Cape Fear, and then whatever Robert Altman did in the 90s. Do some
Shortcuts.
Yeah, we'll do some 90 we'll do some 90s renaissance of the Hollywood Renaissance directors, minus George Lucas.
Altman,
De
Altman,
Palma.
Coppola. I
De
mean, we always have
Palma.
Scorsese. He would be a Renaissance director.
Well, yeah, exactly. Cape Fear.
You can do Cape Fear.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, we've kind of done Warren Beatty. We did Dick Tracy.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call him like a new Hollywood director.
No, I wouldn't either, but he was a new Hollywood director.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
what is the next film? I think it's Nat's turn.
that is correct. It is Nat's turn.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do a little bit of a pivot here. So it's gonna be a foreign film,
Uh-oh.
and it is currently playing on Tubi.
Awesome.
So it is 2 hours and 15 minutes long,
Oh no.
but it's a comedy film from
Okay.
the Soviet Union,
Interesting.
made in 1986.
What's the
Interesting.
joke? Like we don't have any toilet paper or something?
Well, that's just the Soviet Union. That's not a dystopian. They don't need to go to a different world for that to be the case. No, but
Well,
it's
we'll work on our Yakov Smirnoff references.
there you go. No, this is the 1986 film Kenzadza.
I've never heard of this.
You have to explain to me
What?
What?
what's it about.
Well, he said
Uh,
it's a Soviet Union dystopia movie or
It's
whatever.
a dystopian science fiction comedy in which two men from the Soviet Union accidentally travel through space, meeting two aliens from the Kenzadza star system and their post-apocalyptic world.
Nice. Never heard of this. But
It'll
it's
be
on Tubi, so that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Well, that sounds fun.
settle down,
I'm
Robert.
just glad it's on Tubi.
Same here.
So I don't have to buy it on Amazon Prime.
Also for holiday fare, Pee-wee's Christmas special, also on Tubi. Good double
Hmm.
bill, maybe. I don't know.
Well, Pee-wee's Big Adventure just hit Criterion as the disc.
I know.
I'm excited.
I am too. Their first, I think, Tim Burton film. First and probably only Tim Burton film.
Yeah,
Oh, they could do
away from Warner Brothers.
they could do Ed Wood, I would think.
They could.
Like not that
They
they
could
have, but
do-
they could. Yeah.
They could
Oh,
do
yeah.
Sweeney Todd too, I suppose.
See, I would feel like they would do more Sleepy Hollow than Sweeney Todd.
Could be.
That's
Big
weird. I
Fish
was
would
just
do.
thinking that too.
Hey, we think alike.
Or Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice would be okay, but I could see them doing Ed Wood before Beetlejuice.
Or Edward Scissorhands.
That one too. Yeah.
Yeah. Look and behold, it's going to be Mars Attacks.
I hope
Oh
not.
God. Yeah.
Well, I am looking forward to this film, which I cannot pronounce.
Yeah. Kazaran or whatever it's called.
Kintata?
Cantata. Oh God. I'm gonna mess
Yes.
it.
So I'm going to need your help on our outro here, Nat. So that should wrap up this episode. If our listeners have questions or comments, they can email us at skiespodcast@gmail.com or leave us a note on Facebook. Also, feel free to share a link on social media. Thanks for listening. We hope you'll join us next month for Nat's Pick, which
Gonzaga.
is... Thank you, Nat. Bye and Merry Christmas, everyone.
Bye, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.
Gonzaga.
Watch the skies everywhere. Keep looking. Keep watching the skies.